Hello there. Change of place for this video. Trying to change it up, keep it fresh. So as some of you know, my hair isn't exactly straight. It is when I blow it dry, but if I let it air dry, it waves in some spots and not in others. If it waved all over, we wouldn't have to have this video now, would we? So this is how to work with the wave. Like I've told you before, it's not good to blow dry every time you wash your hair because all that heat does a lot of damage. I like blow drying, but I only do it maybe about twice a month, you know, if I can help it. So this is how to work with waves. This will be a two-parter. This is the night before, while your hair is still damp. What we're going to do is make 6 braids, 3 on each side. Just regular braids, English braids, your standard kind. We're going to braid them, tie them off, and then on the ends, we're going to put perm papers. I know some of you have never seen these before because you've never permed your hair. That means you're very, very well behaved. Never, just don't get a perm. Basically what perm papers are tissue paper, already cut into squares. And yes, I realize that you could just get those big sheets of tissue paper and cut it into squares, but you know what? This cost $2.50, and they've already lasted 4 years, and I still have that many left, so just spend the $2.50 and get them already pre-cut. Then, after we coat the ends in that, we're going to use soft rollers. Now, some of you may have rag curlers that you've made yourself or know how to rag curl. Those work too. I use these because I'm too lazy to make rag curlers. So, let's get started. So we're going to do 3 braids on each side of our head. So of course, what you want to do is part. Now this doesn't have to be a perfect part because hopefully nobody but you and either your roommate or significant other is going to see your head like this. Because, you know, while I always say it's styling and profiling, it's not exactly the most attractive do you can come up with. So we're going to take the front portion and we'll braid it. Now you want to try and get somewhat close to your head. If you can French braid, you've got it made. I cannot French braid, so I do not have it made. I just try and get it close. But that way your waves will go as close to your scalp as they can get. And I will see you when I've got mine all braided, so I can show you how to do the ends up. See you after the transition. Alrighty, as you can see, we're all braided. I've even got one half of my head done, so we're on to the other half. Since my ends tend to fall more than others, other part of my hair, I do recommend a mousse or a gel or whatever product you have just for the ends. This is Finesse Touchables, which I like because it doesn't have any alcohol and it contains silk protein, so I guess it helps. It's not crunchy. That's why I like it. So why are we rolling the ends? Well, as those of you who sleep in braids know, when you take your hair out, you have all these beautiful braids, all these lovely waves in your hair, but the ends, well, they look like, as my friend calls them, spaghetti ends. They always look dead and kind of nasty, even though they're not. Just because, you know, you have all these glorious waves in the rest of your hair and the ends are poker straight. So this fixes that. So I'll just put a little mousse on the ends real quick. Alrighty, so you want to take your end papers, fold it in half. I fold mine long ways. Then just slide it right on the end of your braid till none of the ends are out. What this does is it helps keep your hair from getting tangled and wrapped up around these curlers, because when that happens and you're trying to rip them out, it results in this horrible breakage. I know from experience, until I found these things. This keeps them from getting caught. And if you put your hair up in any kind of curlers at any time, I would probably recommend using these just for general purposes. So we're going to roll it up. I usually roll it to about here. Technically you could roll it all the way up to your head, but you have to realize you got to sleep this way, and it's a lot easier to get these out of the way than big old lumps on your head. Just make sure all your ends are nice and in there. Grab you a soft roller and curl it up. And I will see you in the morning when we take this down. Which of course, since this is the power of video, will be after the next transition. Welcome back. It is now the day after we set our hair. So next is the easy part. It's the takedown. So just start. I usually start with the first one I did. Well, putting up in curlers anyway. Just undo them, pull them out. See, like I said, it does not catch on your hair on the ends because of those end papers, which is awesome. Then you simply unbraid. That's it. Not that difficult. But of course, to save time, we'll speed this part up. Alrighty, we are on the last braid unraveling. Now, you may ask, why 6? It's pretty much that I found that this is the good number for me, for the thickness of my hair. If I go 8 or 10, it gets a little too frizzy looking. If I go 4, 4 isn't bad. The waves are a little bit bigger. So I guess if your hair is thinner than mine, you probably want to go 4. If it's thicker than mine, you might be able to go 8. And if it's about the same, go 6. But as you can see, since we wrap the ends up in curlers, we don't have spaghetti ends, which is awesome. And now for the styling. It's very, very simple. Flip your head over, give it a scratch. You just want to kind of finger comb the waves a little bit so they're not all, you know, stuck together like dreadlocks. Unless, of course, that's what you're going for, then by all means, feel free. And then flip it back over. Oh. You will have a lot of volume. I'll tell you that much. A lot of volume. And as you can see, you will have a lot of wave, which is nice. You know, for a change. As you can tell, it really takes up a lot of length because that's a good, what, 6 inches maybe? 4 to 6 inches you lose in length. But it gives you another optional way to wear your hair. If you just don't feel like, you know, straight or semi-wavy, as mine usually tends to go. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoy that. I'm going to pull the top back because I like for my hair to be out of my way. But I hope you try it. At least try it on a weekend when you're not going anywhere, just in case it turns out odd. So have a good one, and I will see you next time.